Welcome to our first virtual travel show with Northland Vacations. 2020 has been a very challenging year for everyone. I think we'd all agree. So we're here today to talk to you about our 2021 group tours and looking forward to having you travel with us again next year and hope you are ready to jump on board and go with us. What I'd like to do is make a few introductions. We have our Northland Travel team consists of several people. We've all been busy working during the virus, trying to plan and get things ready for our tours for next year. I'd like to first introduce Kellie Gadarian. She's pictured on the screen, the top left corner there. She has owned Northland Travel for over 5 years, 5.5 years actually. She loves to travel and especially enjoys cruising. And just to the right of her is myself, Rhonda Strutzenberg. I've been in the travel business for 36 years now. And I think the most rewarding part of my career is hearing and getting feedback from people that have been on our tours and on the individual travel that I book for people. I feel like I've been all over the world because I get the feedback from everybody that I've sent to places all over the world. So it's very enjoyable. In the bottom right-hand corner, on the left, I've got Merlea Schultz. She's been in the business for over 30 years as well. Her and I actually worked together back at AAA Travel. She guides international tours for us and cruises, and also some domestic tours. She has visited 6 of the 7 continents. So you'll be in good hands while traveling with her. And in that bottom right picture over on the right is Deb Harkness. She has been planning and guiding tours for Northland for 15 years now. She's a retired nurse. She's traveled the U.S. extensively with groups and enjoys every minute of it. And then the rest of our team over on the left, you'll see at the top, Rachel Mail. She is our marketing gal. She is behind the scenes for us, but very much in the forefront when it comes to all the ads, the Facebook posts, and everything you see for us. She does a lot with these PowerPoints and getting us ready for these travel shows. So we really appreciate all she does. Just below her is Paula Templemeyer. She is new to our Northland Travel team within the last year. She's a retired teacher. She's guided several student tours to the Washington, D.C. area and been to 26 foreign countries and 40 states. So she enjoys traveling as well. And then Suzanne Sawyer, second one up from the bottom. She's also newer to Northland, but she's not new to traveling. She's been to 25 states, also been to Kenya, Africa. She's enjoyed touring with Northland over the past few years and has helped out with some of our group tours. And then not able to join us today is Judy Butters, but I wanted to mention her. She's been in the travel business for over 30 years as well. She is our main travel planner and does a lot behind the scenes for us. And then we'd like to talk about our valued partners in travel. TravelX Insurance Services, we have been working with them for over 25 years, and they have a very good insurance product, the best way to protect your vacation investment, especially nowadays. So we have different offerings for their products, whether you're booking on our group tours or individually, and we'll explain that to you as you look into our group and individual departures. We also partner with Carousel Travel up in the Minneapolis area. They help out with a lot of our individual travel sales that we do. They belong to Signature Travel Network, which allows us then to the buying power, I should say, to offer the best discounts from all the different travel vendors that are out there, whether US or worldwide. And then they also work with our group air that we do for the group tours.
Okay, hi guys. First off, long time no see. I've missed seeing all of you folks and traveling with you, and can't wait till our 2021 gets going here and we get back on the road again. I wanted to take a minute and just talk about our Aero buses motor coaches that we do use. We've been partnered with Aero now for the past 5 to 6 years, and have been 100% thoroughly satisfied with them. They provide us with not only top quality buses, but top quality service as well. Our drivers are very professional at what they do, and they make your travel experience just the best that it possibly can be. While traveling on the Aero motor coaches, you do have Wi-Fi access. We have plug-ins at every seat on the bus so that you're able to plug in your phones or your other devices that you may bring along. So that's always nice. And while we're talking here about motor coaches, I just did want to take a minute here to talk to you folks about how our starting out in 2021 is going to be. We will be going, due to the safety precautions, we will be going with 50% capacity to at least begin with, and we'll do this until further notice, meaning that we will have probably 25 to 26 people max on the bus. And that will allow for social distancing that we can do, on the bus to make and keep everybody safe. And for those of you that have traveled with me before, know that we like to rotate seats on the bus. Due to the circumstances being what they are right now, until further notice, we will not be rotating seats either, just for increased safety purposes. Our buses are cleaned and disinfected every night, and to keep them as safe and as possible. So hopefully we should have a good trip with all of the good buses. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start talking to you a little bit about the 2021 group tours. All of our 2020s were canceled, and so we've rescheduled most all of every trip that we had scheduled in 2020. For my tours, I have rescheduled into 2021. And that'll be starting off with Texas, February 14th to the 26th. That will be a 13-day trip. We'll be going down into South Texas, and we'll spend 3 days and 3 nights at South Padre Island. Our lodging will be right on the waterfront there. And then we'll be doing a couple different harbor cruises while we're there, one including a dolphin cruise. We then will travel up to San Antonio, and again, we'll spend 3 days and 3 nights there. Our lodging there is right on the Riverwalk. We'll be doing a Riverwalk cruise while we're there. We'll go out and visit the Alamo. We'll go out and visit the Mission District, and just do a lot of fun things there. We'll then head up through Central Texas, and we'll stop and visit the George Bush Sr. Presidential Library and Museum, and then head up to Waco and spend a day there where we're going to visit Magnolia Markets. Joanna Gaines, if you watch Home and Garden TV, she has some shows in there. And she has the silos that you talk about there with all of her different markets and that there. So we'll stop and let you have some time there. Then we're going to head up to Fort Worth, Dallas area. We'll be going to the stockyards, where you'll get a chance to spend some free time there walking around, and you'll see the Longhorn Cattle Drive. And then for you NASCAR fans, we're going to go out to Texas Motor Speedway and spend some time out there where you'll get a chance to ride around the track. That's always a fun thing. And then on our way home, we'll come up through Oklahoma City and do the Oklahoma City Memorial that was built there after the bombing in 1995. Then we'll move on to our next trip, which is the Spring Fling in the South. We'll be going to New Orleans, Gulf Shores, Cajun country, and taking in a lot of fun things there. We'll spend a couple of days in New Orleans. We'll do a guided tour in New Orleans. We'll let you have some free time down in the French Quarter. We'll be going over to the World War II Museum, which is a fantastic museum, and visiting there. We'll also do a lunch boat cruise on the steamboat Natchez. So just a lot of fun things there. When we go down through Lafayette, Louisiana, that's the home of Cajun country. And we'll be doing a swamp boat tour there where we actually go back into the deep swamp on these little small boats. And you'll get to see lots of alligators and all that good stuff. We're going to visit a crawfish farm while we're there. After we leave New Orleans, we're going to travel the Gulf Coast over to the Biloxi, Mississippi area, and we'll do a shrimp boat tour there. And then on our way back up towards home, we'll be coming up through Talladega, Alabama. And again, if you're a NASCAR fan, we're going to tour the Talladega Speedway there. So that's it for that one.
In April 8th through 12th, we're going to fly out to Washington, D.C. for cherry blossom time. This is going to be a very active tour. We will be seeing all of the major national monuments, and the best way to see them is to walk from monument to monument and climb all the steps. So pack your tennies. We will watch Changing of the Guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier at Arlington Cemetery. So that's one of the highlights of the trip. We will also spend a day on the National Mall, checking out all the different museums. We will have a group tour of the Holocaust Museum to start today, and then we will end the day with a group tour of the Capitol. In between, you get to choose which of the museums and art galleries you would like to see. Suzanne and I will be around to point you in the right direction and show you where they are and help you figure out which ones you want to see. There's several to choose from. We will spend a day at Mount Vernon and check out where George Washington lived. Our hotel is in Alexandria, Virginia, down by Old Town, and every evening you will be free to explore all the multiple restaurants and sites in Old Town, Virginia. And we hope you join us for cherry blossom time in Washington, D.C.
Our first international this year is going to be Australia, New Zealand. All of you that have traveled with me before know very much that if we're going to go, we're going to include everything we can. We're going to take the time. So we're 30 days. It's a long flight. April 18th to May 17th. All of our air, including all of your internal flights, are included right from Des Moines. We'll go do Cairns, the Great Barrier Reef, Ulu, Ayers Rock, Alice Springs, the home of the School of the Air, Melbourne, we'll see the little penguins. We're going over to Tasmania. If we're going to go, we're going to do it. The Sydney Opera House, of course. Then on into both islands of New Zealand, Queenstown, Milford Sound, we'll see Mount Cook, Christchurch, Wellington, Rotorua, Auckland. A lot of time, but easy paced as we're going to go see everything. A lot of things included, including 3 nights in Fiji, which is going to be your rest stop on the way home as we sit on that island and unwind. Australia, April 18th. If you book by November 15th, 2020, we have $500 per person off.
Okay, and then this is a tour my mystery tour that I had planned again for 2020, and we rolled it over into 2021. May 4th to the 6th, it'll be a 3-day tour. And if you're in for a lot of fun and laughter and dwelling into the unknown, well, then you need to come with me on this trip. It's going to be lots of fun, and we promise we won't lead you astray, at least not too far anyway. One thing I did want to mention too on this is that we will be going out of the state of Iowa. So it's going to be fun. Just come join us. And that's, again, May 4th to the 6th, 2021. Then my next trip that I'll be doing is the Minnesota Northwoods, June 21st to the 27th. This is a new tour. It will be a 7-day tour. The Minnesota Northwoods and the Boundary Waters territory are some of the most beautiful areas up in that area that you can ever imagine. And we'd sure like it if you'd come join us and help us explore. The first day out, we're going to travel up to St. Croix Falls, Minnesota, which is just north of the cities. And we're going to do a sunset cruise out on the St. Croix River. And then the next day, we'll head up to Duluth, and we'll let you spend some time there. We'll do a sightseeing harbor cruise there. And while we are there, our lodging, we'll be down right on the canal park where the lift bridge is down there. And you'll have some free time down there to take in the Maritime Museum. And you can just come and go from your hotel, you know, as you care to. So that will be nice. Then we're going to travel up the North Shore Highway, going up and visiting along the way. Beautiful, beautiful drive. Visiting Gooseberry Falls. We're going to go to Split Rock Lighthouse and spend some time there. And then we're going to go up to Lutzen, Minnesota, and up to the Lutzen, what they refer to as Lutzen Mountain. And we're going to take a tram ride up to the top of Lutzen Mountain up there. The sights going up there are just crazy, unbelievable. And then while we're up there, we're going to have lunch up there as well, and you'll be able to see all the views. Then that night, we will do our lodging will be on the Lake Superior North Shore waterfront. So that'll be neat. From there, we're going to travel up to Ely, Minnesota, which is getting way up in northern Minnesota there, up in the Boundary Waters area. While we're up there, we're going to visit the International Wolf Center, the North American Bear Center, and we will be spending 2 nights there. And our lodging there will be on Lake Shagawa. So again, you'll have waterfront lodging. Again, that's the Minnesota Northwoods, June 21st to the 27th.
And then also in June, we're off to Alaska again, June 8th to the 19th for 12 days. We feature a group that will do a land excursion for about 9 of those days, followed by a 4-day cruise. So we do this every year. We just had an Alaska show last week, and we have some extra specials that we can offer for anybody booking by the end of this month. So if you're interested in joining us and want to see the interior as well as a little bit of the cruising, please give me a call. I have limited availability. We did have this same tour planned for this past June in 2020, and I had several people from this year that transferred over to next year since it didn't operate for this year. So give me a call by the end of September and I can go over all the details of the trip and the extra specials.
Okay, and then in June, this again was moved over from this year. We're going to be doing Wyoming, June 12th to the 20th. That's a 9-day trip.
That's July, Deb. Sorry.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
I didn't want to interrupt, but I didn't want him to be confused.
No, it is. I wrote it wrong. Anyway, July 12th to the 20th. Sorry about that. And we'd sure love it if you'd come travel with us to Wyoming and experience some of the beautiful nature and the mountain scenery that the West has to offer. To start out with, we'll travel out through Sioux Falls and stop on our way. We'll stop in Wall, South Dakota for a couple hours and let you browse around there and take in the town there. And then we're going to travel on to Cody, Wyoming, where we'll spend 2 days and 2 nights there. And we'll be lodging while we're there at the historic Irma Hotel. Buffalo Bill built this hotel in honor of his daughter, and her name was Irma, so that's obviously how it got the name. But it's a very, very historic hotel. They've kept it up just fantastic, and it's a lot of fun. While we're in Cody, we'll be taking in a rodeo one night. We'll do a trolley tour of Cody. And the Irma Hotel is located right downtown Cody, so you'll be able to come and go and walk the streets and all of the souvenir shops and everything there. And so that's a neat thing. Another fun thing that we're going to do while we're there is we're going out to the Buffalo Bill Center. It's one of the most fantastic museums that you'll ever see. There's so much history out there. Then we'll leave Cody and we'll travel over through Yellowstone National Park, where we'll have a step-on guide that will come on and spend the day with us there. One of the things, obviously, that we'll be visiting will be Old Faithful. And after we leave Yellowstone, we'll travel south down into Jackson Hole, Wyoming, where we'll spend 2 days and 2 nights there. The Grand Tetons are located there, just north of Jackson Hole. And Jim and I have been fortunate over the years to travel the United States quite extensively and see many, many mountain ranges. And I have to say that the Grand Tetons are way up there at the top of the list as far as mountains that I love to visit. They are so, so cool. And one of the things that we're going to do while we're out in the Grand Tetons is we're going to take a float trip down on the Snake River, right down through the Tetons. There's no white water involved. It's just super, super calm. So it's just neat. We do it kind of 8, 9 o'clock in the morning when it's really peaceful outside yet. And you'll see eagles flying around, and just the serenity of all of it is really neat. Also, another thing we're going to be doing while we're in Jackson Hole is we're going to be doing a horse-drawn covered wagon ride, where we'll go back into the camp, back into the canyon, back in there, just like you feel like you're just part of a wagon train, just like back in the olden days. And once we get back in there, why, we'll have a campfire cookout, and they put on a little musical entertainment for us. So this Wyoming trip is a very popular trip. I've been doing this same one now for a number of years, and people just seem to really, really enjoy it. On our way home, we'll be coming down up through Wind River Canyon, Wyoming as well, and we'll stop at the Bighorn Sheep Center. The Wind River Canyon is where in the winter the highest number of bighorn sheep congregate there as anywhere in the United States. So again, another fun trip. July 12th through the 20th to 2021.
Are you ready to rock and roll? Get out your poodle skirts, your blue jeans, your saddle shoes, and come with us. We're headed to Detroit. Going to see the Motown Museum, a lot of rock and roll things through there. Visit the Heidelberg Project, which has been run up, the Ford Picote plant. Then we're on to Cleveland, Rock and Roll Museum. We're going to see the Christmas Story House. We're going to relax on the Nautica Queen as we cruise the river there with a tour of the city. On the way home, the South Bend Chocolate Factory and the Studebaker Museum. Be ready to rock and roll. We're going to head to the other side of the country and explore the unique wonders of Oregon in August. Great trip. We are going to go coast to coast, or east to west, throughout this beautiful, beautiful state. It's one of our unexplored states in the U.S., and it's definitely not one to miss. Air is out of Des Moines. We'll tour Portland. We're going to do the Columbia River Gorge with the Multnomah Falls. We'll take a jet boat ride in Hell's Canyon, see the John Day Fawcett Beds, the Painted Hills. We're going to do Crater Lake National Park, then on over to the coast for the lighthouses, the Three Capes Scenic Drive. We'll ride a dune buggy in Oregon Dunes National Park. Des Moines Air, great time. Come to Oregon.
Then August 16th to the 18th, we're going to do a Celebration Bell riverboat cruise. And we'd like it if you'd come join us on an all-day Mississippi riverboat cruise aboard the Celebration Bell from LeClaire, Iowa to Dubuque. First off, we'll enjoy a day of stepping back in time as we go down into southeast Iowa and visit Van Buren County. There they've got a bunch of Amish and Mennonite villages. They're all kind of clumped together. So we'll give you some time. We'll cruise those and give you some time to shop and explore those. Then we'll head on up to the Quad Cities and stay overnight there. So we're bright and early and ready for the next morning for a full day of riverboat cruising. While on board, we'll enjoy 3 full meals, including a prime rib dinner. And during the cruise, there'll be music, narration, and entertainment. And then on day 3, on our way home, that's going to be a day of fun and surprises. I've got a few things lined up to stop and do along the way, but I want them to be surprises. So again, this is August 16th to the 18th, the Celebration Bell Riverboat Cruise. Then August 23rd to the 27th, Indiana Amish Country. we'd like it if you'd come join us. We're going to travel out to Shipshewana area and stay there for a few days. And we're just going to hub and spoke out of the Essen House Inn there in Middlebury. This hotel is a fantastic hotel. It's all Amish orientated. There's beautiful Amish quilts hanging on the walls all over the hotel. All of the furniture within the hotel is all Amish made. And so it's just a really neat thing. While there, we're going to be taking in the quilt gardens. We'll have a step-on guide that will come on and be with us the entire time that we're there. And we're going to tour the quilt gardens while we're there. We're going to go out and do some all-day scenic backroads tour through the rural Amish country, where we'll visit different country stores and quaint shops such as cheese shops, bakeries, woodworking shops, just to name a few. And one night we will have an Amish supper right in an Amish home, and then they take you outside and you can go for a buggy ride in their personal family buggies that they have. They'll take you up and down the road in a buggy. Again, this is August 23rd to the 27th. I did want to mention that this tour, this is one that I had offered in 2021 and we weren't able to do it. And so we've rolled it over into next year. But just about everybody that was signed on for this year rolled over and plan to do it next year. So we are already, due to our going at 50% capacity, we already are at our limit on this. But we suggest that you just get on the waiting list if you're interested in this. A lot of time we have cancellations along the way due to different reasons that folks are signed up are unable to go. So don't let this steer you away from signing up. We'll just put you on a waiting list. But again, it's a 5-day trip, August 23rd to the 27th, and I think you'll really enjoy it. Another trip that's backed by popular demand, and I seem to do every year, and it seems to fill up every year, is our North Shore Mackinac Island trip. And we're going to start this one. This is going to be September 9th to the 15th, 7-day trip. We'll start off by traveling up through Wisconsin. We're going to do the Wisconsin North Shore this time, and then over into the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We'll go up through and do a Pictured Rock Lakeshore cruise up in the Upper Peninsula, and we will go over to and do a Sulaks boat tour, and then we will eventually come on down to Mackinac City, where we will then get on a catamaran ferry and ferry over to Mackinac Island. Once on the island, we will spend 2 days and 2 nights there. While there, we'll have a horse-drawn carriage ride of the island. I think most of folks know that there are no motorized vehicles that are allowed on Mackinac Island. So this is what makes it such a serene and fun place to visit. Our hotel while we're on the island also is right on Main Street. It's right off the waterfront and it's right on Main Street. So it's super close to all your souvenir shops, your fudge shops, any place that you want to visit. So that's always a fun thing and a neat place to stay. We'll also be going while on the island. We'll go up and have lunch one day at the famous Grand Hotel, where they've got this huge buffet layout. And then after we leave the island, we'll come on down the western edge of Michigan, and we'll go down. We're going to do a sand dune buggy ride right on the waterfront there one day, and then we'll come back up to Ludington, Michigan, and get on the SS Badger ferry that will take us completely across Lake Michigan. It's about a 4-hour tour, or excuse me, a 4-hour ride. And we go from Ludington, Michigan over to Manitowoc, Wisconsin, and then we'll come home from there. So again, that's September 9th to the 15th. This trip also, this is one that I had planned for this year. A lot of the group from this year just rolled over into next year and are planning to go with us next year. We still do have space, but it's limited. So if you're thinking on doing this trip, don't wait too long to sign up.
In September, we're going to visit what they're saying is going to be the hottest new destination in Europe this year, Poland. Again, our air is from Des Moines, and we have free air if this is booked before December 31st. of 2020. Free air. What kind of a deal is that? We're going to fly from Des Moines. Our first stop would be Gdansk. Then we go over to Sopot. It's the largest pier on the Baltic Sea. If you're chalking off oceans on your bucket list, take off the Baltic Sea. Poland's an area we're going to see a lot of 13th, 14th, 15th century buildings and many, many UNESCO United Heritage Sites. We'll see the Castle of the Teutonic Order of the Knights, St. Mary's, the largest Gothic church in Europe. In Warsaw, we'll visit the Wilanow Palace, see the statue of Frederick Chopin, who's Warsaw's favorite son. Krakow, we'll do the Jasogorna Monastery. Those of you that have ever seen the movie Monument Men, this is where the Black Madonna is located. So we'll be able to see that. Then on to the Wyazeka Salt Mine, 20 chambers, a lot of walking, but unbelievable salt carvings. Last stop during those days will be the Auschwitz-Birkenau concentration camp and museum. We'll also make a stop and walk down through the Jewish district where Schindler's List was filmed. Poland, the hottest destination, free air. It is going to be great. Mark it off your bucket list.
I've been to Poland. It is a beautiful country, and the salt mines you're going to see is worth the trip just to see the salt mines. Go to Poland.
Okay, next on our list is, this is one of my most popular trips that I have, and this is the Albuquerque, New Mexico Hot Air Balloon Festival, September 30th to October 11th. This is a 12-day trip. This is a trip that I do every other year, and it too fills up fast for occupancy, but it's a great, great trip. As we travel towards New Mexico, we'll go down through Oklahoma and we'll hit the Route 66 trail and stopping at a few of the iconic stops there, the Route 66 icons along the way. And then we'll travel on down into Albuquerque, where we'll spend 2 days attending the festival down there. We'll rise and shine early for 2 mornings to get out to the festival grounds so you can see the hundreds of balloons that come in every size, shape, and color that you can imagine. We'll watch them all launch, and just sights to behold. I always tell people that this is one of those things that pictures don't do it justice. You have to be there to see this. One other thing that I've thrown in, what I did when we did it in 2019, and it went over by popular demand, people really enjoyed it, is that while we are at the festival, and you'll have to schedule this with me ahead of time, but we do give you the opportunity, and it's strictly, again, your choice, but we do give you the opportunity, if you'd like, to actually do a balloon ride while you're there at the festival. With us being there 2 days in a row, why the first day, everybody just stays on the ground, and watches all the beautiful balloons launch. But if you so choose, on the second day, then you can go for a balloon ride where you launch right along with everybody else. So you get the view of not only from on the ground the first day, but you get the view from the air the second day. Again, this is totally optional and the cost is extra. I don't have any of the pricing for this yet, for this trip, and I will be getting it within the next 2 to 3 months. And so then I'll be able to give you the balloon ride pricing as well at that time. But again, it's a great thing if you've ever wanted to do this, if taking a balloon ride's on your bucket list, why this is the prime opportunity to do this. After we leave Albuquerque, we're going to head up to the Grand Canyon. We'll be going up to Williams, Arizona, and staying the night there. And then the next morning, we will get on a train that will take us up to the Grand Canyon. Once we get to the Grand Canyon, it's about a half-day train ride. And then once we get to the Grand Canyon, we'll be getting on a bus and then touring the park there, where we'll go drive along the rim of the canyon, and you'll get several opportunities to get off and take lots of pictures and everything. After we leave the Grand Canyon, also we're going to be visiting Bryce Canyon. We'll be visiting Antelope Canyon, and just a lot, again, this is a super, super popular trip. So once I get pricing out, if you're interested, please get in touch with me or Rhonda so we can get you signed up for this. And that'll be, again, September 30th to October 11th.
High point of the leaves in New England is normally October 4. So we're going to be there, Mother Nature, going along with us, September 30th to October 11th. Air from Des Moines. We'll meet at the airport hotel the first night, then head into Boston, where we're going to do a city tour. We'll do the Navy Yards. We'll do Faneuil Hall. One of my favorites is the Maparium, where we walk through the glass world and whisper from side to side. We'll see the Old North Church. We're going to ride 3 trains on this trip, so it's going to be great. On up to Kennebuckport, where we'll do the Seashore Trolley Museum, Fadden's General Store, the Maple Sugar House. We're going to cruise Lake Winnipesaukee as we do Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. We'll see the World War II Wright Museum. Quechee Gorge, which is Vermont's Little Grand Canyon. Great viewing from the bridge there down into the gorge. We will see the Calvin Coolidge birthplace, a little different from some of our other presidents. Then on to the Shelburne Museum, the world's largest collection of Americana in that park. We'll do Vermont Country Store. Hildene, as far as I'm concerned, one of the nicer mansions in the United States, Robert Todd Lincoln's home. And we will have lunch there. Then on back to Boston, returning to Des Moines. Autumn panorama, the colors will be fantastic.
And then I'm October 21st to the 31st, I'm going to do the Fall Spectacular in the Southeast. This is where we will travel down to Southeast Georgia and spend several days down in there, in that area. The fall colors in the Southeast are in their prime in late October. So we'll get to hopefully take all of these in. On our way down to Georgia, we will be going through Nashville, where we'll stop at the and see the Grand Ole Opry one night. And then we'll continue on down through Chattanooga, and we'll do the incline railway that will go up to the top of Lookout Mountain and get an overall view of the city of Chattanooga. It's pretty awesome up there. And then once we arrive in Southeast Georgia, we'll spend a couple of days touring Jekyll Island, St. Simon's Island, Tybee Island, and we'll take in some plantations while we're down there, where you'll get to see the history. You'll get to see and experience the history of one of the most rich and famous areas that were back in the day, where people went. This is where the New Yorkers and the Chicago big time people used to go and have builders vacation homes, was down in this area. So we get to go and tour some of those, and that's pretty neat to see. Our lodging while we're there in the Jekyll Island area will be right on the waterfront as well. And then once we leave there, we're going to travel north a little bit up to Savannah, Georgia, where we'll spend 2 days and 2 nights there. We'll have a step-on guide come on with us and spend the 2 days with us there and seeing all the fun things that the Savannah area has to offer. Then after we leave Savannah, we'll be coming up through Charlotte, North Carolina, and we'll stop and visit the Billy Graham Library. And then we'll head on west over to Asheville, North Carolina, where we'll spend a day at the Biltmore Estates, touring and having lunch there. So that's always a fun thing to do, and people seem to really enjoy that. So again, that's Fall Spectacular in the Southeast, October 21st to the 31st.
For those of you that have cruised and possibly done the Panama Canal, you know that Costa Rica is one of your stops. This is an area where you've done maybe one tour, but I hear so often that people say, I wish I'd had more time. It's such a beautiful Central American country, and we've never had time to really explore it. And it is a gorgeous place to go. In November, we're going to take 9 days and really see that country, take advantage of all of it. It's a land of volcanoes, butterflies, birds. The wildlife is spectacular, just unbelievable. We're going to do the Cananegro Wildlife Jungle Cruise. We'll visit coffee plantations and butterfly gardens and wildlife centers. We'll see the painted ox carts, which is the national symbol of Costa Rica, as we shop for coffee. Leatherback Turtle National Park. So many beautiful things, such a beautiful area to relax, take our time, and really enjoy this spectacular scenery. Join us November 4 to 12, air right out of Des Moines.
And then before you know it, it's Christmas time again. And we're going to be doing our yearly trip to Branson, November 8th to the 11th next year. This again was rolled over from this year. So we'll be seeing mainly the same things that we planned to see this year. We'll be seeing an Oak Ridge Boys, which they put on a fantastic Christmas show. We'll be attending the Dolly Parton Stampede, which used to be called the Dixie Stampede. And then one of my favorites always is that we will be taking in the production of Jesus live on stage with the Sight and Sound Theater. If you've ever been to the Sight and Sound Theater, it's quite the place to see. You kind of sit down in the bottom, but it's a huge theater, and the production takes place all around you. There's probably, I don't know, I guess 150, 200 people that are actors that do this, that put on this production. It's just quite the sight to see. And again, that's Jesus live on stage. That is one of their newer ones that they've just come out with. And so we'll get to see that next year. Plus, we'll do a couple other shows, and then we'll do the drive-through of their Christmas light display while they're there. I don't have pricing for this tour just yet, but we'll have it by the first of the year for sure. So let me know if you're interested in doing that. Again, November 8th to the 11th of next year.
And then for December 2021, for 3 days, Paula Templemeyer and I will be leading a group to Kansas City for the Kansas City Holiday Lights. We're going to have 3 main highlights, and then, of course, Kansas City barbecue can't be missed when you go to Kansas City. We're going to be going to the Country Club Plaza to see 15 blocks of beautiful Christmas lights, the Crown Center, and Union Station. So if you want to get in a great festive mood for Christmas, nothing better than all the lights and the shopping and seeing all the people to gear up for the Christmas season.
And then we're going to round out the year next year with our Southern Country Christmas. December 4th to the 10th. This will be a 7-day trip. And on this trip, we'll be visiting, we're going to go to Graceland and see Graceland at Christmas there. And then we'll travel on to Nashville, where we'll spend 2 days and 2 nights at Nashville. We'll be staying at the famous Opryland Resort while we're there. We'll take in the Grand Ole Opry one night. And we'll do a dinner show one night right there at the resort, where it'll be a Nashville country star that is the main attraction there at that dinner show. Last year when we went, just to give you an idea, last year when we went, Trace Adkins was the performer for that. So that's a really good show. We'll also be doing the General Jackson Showboat Lunch Cruise one of the days that we're there. And then after we leave Nashville, we're going to travel up to Louisville, Kentucky. And we're going to stop at Churchill Downs and do Christmas at Churchill Downs there. That's always quite the neat thing to see. And then we'll do Lights Under Louisville for a very unique Christmas light tour. There they have what they refer to as the mega caverns. And it's several miles of this underground cavern. And they actually got it. They've got highways or a road back in there to where our full-size motor coach can drive into the cavern. It's about 3 or 4 miles back into the cavern there. And the whole way they've got lights, Christmas lights set up the whole way. And it's a really unique Christmas light tour. So we'll be doing that. And then we'll finish up that trip by coming up through Peoria, Illinois, and again, seeing their Christmas lights there. They have the largest Christmas light display in the state of Illinois there. So lots of Christmas lights, lots of fun. A good way to really get you in the Christmas mood. Again, a Southern Country Christmas, December 4th through the 10th of 2021.
As we're starting into our next couple years, as we said, we've all been kind of home looking at things and deciding where we want to go, where you people want to go because of your bucket lists. We're always open for that. Canadian Rockies has been requested. So once again, we're going to be looking at going into Canadian Rockies. We'll do Calgary, Banff, Lake Louise, Jasper, ride the Athabasca Glacier on the snow coaches, and a lot of fun things to do summer of 2022.
And then in July of 2022, I'm going to do the Trains of Colorado. Usually I do Wyoming one year and Colorado the next, but due to not being able to do Wyoming in 2020, I rolled that over into 2021. And so we'll be doing Colorado in 22. But we're going to be going out and doing 5 different train rides while we're out in Colorado. A couple of them being the famous Durango-Silverton train ride down in Southwest Colorado, which is a super fun one to ride. We'll also do the Royal Gorge train ride, plus others. So be watching for more information on that as we get closer to the time.
We can't plan too far ahead. Want to make sure you've got everything on your bucket list you want. Another request we've had so much is Scandinavia. We're looking at Scandinavia very strongly. We're going to visit Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark. We'll ride the Flam train. We'll head up into the Arctic Circle. Come with us, mark your notes, take that bucket list trip, and visit the land of the midnight sun. On from there, Cape Cod. Go in and out of Boston, but we're going to go down and just do the Cape Cod area. We'll do the Cape, the various islands, do a tour of the Newport mansions. Cape Cod's a fun area, a little different from what we've seen when we've gone to New England before. Then on into Door County, that late summer, fall. Going to take a relaxing few days. We're just going to relax up in Wisconsin's thumb. Take the back roads beauty, visit the wineries, go over to Washington Island, do the quaint shops, and have a fish boil. Door County.
Then in September of 2022, I'm going to be doing, this will be a new tour, an East Kentucky, Western West Virginia tour, where it will take us over into the eastern side of Kentucky. And when we get into the Western West Virginia area, we'll be getting into the Appalachian Mountains a little bit. We'll be doing some train rides on that trip, visiting Butcher Holler, that I'm sure everybody's heard of. And then if you're a bluegrass fan, bluegrass music, we're going to take in a show at the Renfro Valley Bluegrass stage there in Virginia. And then just a bunch of other fun stuff too that we'll be doing along the way. So again, that's East Kentucky in September of 2022.
The last time I took you on a med cruise, we did the Eastern Med. We went Rome into London with all the stops. This time, a little more unusual, a little more different, fantastic stops planned. We're going to do the Western Med. We'll do Greece, the historic ports southeast in those countries. A very unique area, Eastern Med out of Greece with so much time spent there. Think about that med cruise and mark your calendars.
And then in October of 2022, fall in the Ozarks. This was a trip that I'd originally had planned for this fall in 2020. And due to rescheduling all of my other tours, I couldn't fit this one in for next year. So I'll be waiting until 2022 to do this one. While we're on this trip, we'll be visiting, going down, spending a couple of days in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and taking in the outdoor passion play. We'll be doing a train ride through the Ozark Mountains while we're down there. And then as we come back up through, heading towards home, we'll come up through Lake of the Ozarks, which are just super beautiful, especially this time of the year. And we'll do a catamaran cruise on Lake of the Ozarks and just a lot of other fun stuff as well. So again, that's the fall of October of 2022.
And then also in 2022, we have the opportunity for a unique sailing experience in the Adriatic and Dalmatian coasts to experience Croatia. Angela Essing, she guides tours for us and unique different ones every other year. And this one, she tried to have scheduled for 2021, but we are moving it to 2022. It'll be very limited as the seats, or the space, I should say, on this cruise. They're small yacht type ships. So if you're interested in this, please let us know, and then we can get you added to the list. And as soon as we have more information, get that right out to you.
Last time I had you in Africa, we were in Kenya. This time we're headed south to South Africa. We're going to see that wildlife beauty on the South African and safari adventure. We'll do Kruger National Park and look for the big five: the elephant, Cape Buffalo, lion, leopards, rhinos. We'll do Cape Town and the Cape of Good Hope. Then we'll also do Zimbabwe for Victoria Falls. Be sure you take a look in 2023 and mark for your bucket list on your calendar, South Africa. Then on over by popular requests, we're going to go up into Wisconsin's Apostle Islands again. Again, a relaxing few days in a beautiful area in Wisconsin. Another request, another unique destination again. Let's get those bucket lists going, is South America, as we do Brazil, Argentina, and Chile. We'll do Iguazu Falls. We'll walk in the mist and the roar of the falls. We're going to ride the cogwheel train to the top of Coronado Mountain, and we're going to stand and see one of the seven wonders of the modern world, which of course is the statue of Christ the Redeemer. We'll do city tours, time in the countryside in all three countries. South America, another 2023 bucket list. Finishing up that year, fall in the Finger Lakes in New York. The old Indian tradition is that God placed his hand down, those fingers made the Finger Lakes. So some time on those lakes, the wineries, the beauty of northern New York in the fall.
And we want to reassure you once again, due to COVID and following CDC and all of the recommendations, there will be limited numbers on our motor coaches, 50% capacity with social distancing. We encourage you to bring a mask, and we will also provide mask and hand sanitizer and gloves to all group travelers. If you have questions regarding the safety procedures, please ask, give us a call, and we'll be happy to answer them, but we'll do everything in our power to keep you safe. But regarding that, we have to make a note that all our tour components that you experience on our tours may have to be adjusted or changed due to circumstances beyond our control. The virus gets to do what the virus wants to do. Our Northland Travel staff, our contractors, and our partners, we reserve the right to make changes for the safety and consideration of our tour participants. Once again, we will be following CDC and WHO guidelines. Please note, anytime you travel, you run the risk of exposure to COVID-19 or any of the many viruses that are out there, and neither Northland Travel staff, contractors, or vendors, we cannot guarantee that you will not be exposed during any tour. We do not assume any responsibility for this matter, but once again, we will be following all the safety and sanitation measures set up by the CDC, making it as safe as we possibly can.
Couple things here that you need to know about Iowa. Don't let your license slow you down. That real ID, the little gold star that you're going to need to have on your ID and on your driver's license. That time limit has been extended now to October of 2021. So please be sure that you get those driver's licenses in there, make your appointments, and get your gold star put on. There are specific items you need to take with you. If you don't have them, they will turn you down at the Driver's License Bureau. So be sure that you've got the items needed to get that gold star on, but get it taken care of. You've also heard me talk many times on the passports. More and more, we are seeing all of our vendors saying that your passport must be valid 6 months from your date of return. It's a good time right now with people staying home and thinking about looking at their travelers. Take a look at your passport. Look at those dates, see when it's going to expire. With a lot of people working from home right now, it's taking a little longer to get those passports and get them renewed. You can renew them up to a year prior. If you're thinking about traveling at all, look at that passport. Be sure for any of your trips, it has to be valid 6 months from your date of return.
The website for Northland Travel to see all the details on these trips is northlandtravel.com. If you go to the second tab, which is group tours, you can see the whole itinerary of trips coming up. You can drill down on it and print the agenda of the big items that you'll be seeing. Be sure to share this website with your
Oops, I
go
think
with others and you have no stress dealing with the arrangements. Another place you can keep up to date is on Facebook. Just go on your Facebook account, type in Northland Travel, and you can keep up to date with the latest news that Northland is putting out to the public.
New for 2021, and I'm excited about this. Something new we're going to be offering starting at the beginning in first part of January to our customers will be what we're going to refer to as the Frequent Traveler Program, where we will reward those of you that are able to travel with us several different times through the years, or several different times through the year, excuse me, and you'll build up perks as you go on through the year. Again, we'll be having more information about this in the upcoming weeks, but it will start beginning in 2021. So be watching for that.
And then we'd like to let you know that if you're interested in any of the tours that you've seen on our travel slides today, to please contact our office. I'd be happy to get you more information on them. We also want to extend a discount by $25 off per person, additional for booking a tour and depositing it by November 18th of this year. We will also open up any of the early booking discounts that are on our flyers, so you can get take advantage, I guess, of both discounts. We want to thank you for attending today and hope that you saw something that would interest you for future travels. Please be sure and get a hold of us, and we look forward to having you on board with us soon. Thanks, everybody. Keep calm and travel on safely.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye. Hope to see you soon.